Good. It's getting dry. We'll work on that later. Whoever's here, hey, you can speak. You can say hey till everybody else gets here. You can drop down in the bushes. Well, down from the bushes. You don't have to stay in the bushes here. I don't care who you are. Everybody is welcome. Hey, Kay. Everybody is welcome here. You don't have to hide in the bushes. You are all welcome to drop down. Just keep it cute. That's all I ask. Just keep it cute. So I got two things I want to talk about. I just saw a video. Hey, Demona. Thank you, sweetie. I just saw a video that I don't know if a lot of you guys watch the same people that I watch on YouTube. But Adrianne Slays is one of the people that I watch pretty consistently. And she is in the mukbanger community. Just stopping through to support. Can't keep chatting, but I'm listening while working. I don't watch Adrianne, but I'll watch Heidi, so I know all about her shenanigans over the years. Okay, girl. Well, just listen, because I guess earlier this morning, Adrianne got into it with one of her roommates. Well, I guess the owner of the house where she was staying, Adrianne got into it with him. And she said that she put her hands on him. Which I hope she didn't do. I hope she didn't do that, because putting your hands on people can land you in jail. That is assault. I don't care, what the streets say and your affiliation to the streets, and I'm not gonna let nobody talk to me like this, and you just not gonna run up on me and talk to me like. But it looks like she had an altercation this morning with the man at the man's house that she used to live in. And what's crazy to me is how Adrianne is living with somebody else as a grown adult and don't want to abide by these people's rules. She said the reason why her and the man got into the altercation was because she was in the kitchen cooking eggs in his skillet, and he got mad and said, "Y'all scratching up my skillets with these forks." Now, let me tell you this. I am one that if I pay for pots and skillets and stuff, I like nice things in my kitchen. My skillets are non-stick. I hate to be cooking something and it's, sticking to the bottom of the skillet. And the cheaper skillets, your food will stick. Non-stick skillets, you do not use metal utensils to cook. So when you scrambling eggs, you're not going to use a fork. And if you had any pride in ownership, in which Adrianne doesn't, because she doesn't own anything, and it doesn't look like she's really ever owned anything nice, you would know that you don't go to someone else's house and use a fork in a non-stick skillet to cook eggs or to cook anything. because the person is going to get upset. I remember my son's girlfriend was living with us for a while, and I got so upset with her because she burned my mom had this, it wasn't a pot, I don't know what it, I don't, it wasn't really a skillet. Maybe it was a skillet at one time, but anyway, it belonged to my mother, and my mom passed away, and so I had kept certain items. That was one of them, and I was cooking with it. I used it a lot. I never had a problem cooking with it. And she came over to the house and was like fixing my son some shrimp or something and burned it. Like, wasn't paying any attention. I don't know what happened. But anyway, the pot got burnt on the bottom. Like, burned real bad. Like, burned, like almost set my damn kitchen on fire. But I was more concerned that she had messed up my mother's pot than I legit was about the kitchen, because the kitchen wasn't damaged. But my mother's pot was. I was so upset. And it just took everything in me not to curse her out. I didn't curse her out like I legit wanted to. But I could tell in her face that she didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. It wasn't intentional. But I was still upset. Like, people don't want you coming over to their house. Like, I have a problem with people in my kitchen anyway. Because, that had never happened before. So, yeah, most people don't want you at their house. But then you're coming in their house and you messing up stuff. So then Adrianne said, let me see if I can, because I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to hear this part, this one particular part in the video. I don't play by my pots either. Like, don't come over my house messing up and now I have a specific skillet that I like to cook with, a specific non-stick skillet. Everybody in this house, no, don't mess with her stuff. Cook with your own pots. Don't mess with hers. Because I paid, nice money for just one skillet. That's got a lid on it. It's non-stick. Yeah, I don't want nobody using a fork to cook with my non-stick skillet. Like, do you not understand that you're messing up the coating of the skillet with the fork? You're messing it up. You can see this after a while. You will legit be able to see the scratches in the skillet. Let me see if I can find it.
Argument started because I was in the kitchen cooking me some breakfast, cooking me some eggs, y'all. And that man came out of his room, y'all, and he said, me, and he mentioned his friend, because he got a friend that lives in the back of his house. It's like an extended garage or whatever. It got a room on a garage or whatever. And it's like it's a room, but it has a toilet, but it don't have a kitchen back there. But his friend lived back there. And so, since he don't have a kitchen, his friend comes into his house and he uses his kitchen. But anyway, the man, okay, five something this morning, y'all. I went there to make me some eggs. Who arguing? Barb, who you telling, bad boy? Who you talking to, girl? Girl, you done got me off track. Who you talking to, honey? You said bye, boy. Right. Okay, I got you now, girl. Right. But he got mad. He got mad, and he came out the room when I was stirring the eggs. You know, y'all know eggs don't take long. Stirring them up, and the man came out and said, "You and I ain't gonna say his name, but his friend, the one that lived in the back, he said, y'all two scratching my skillets up with the fork, because I used the fork to scramble the eggs." That's what he was mad about, y'all. That's when you know it's time to vacate. He was mad about that. He said that we scratching up his skillets, with the fork, I guess. When a person nitpicking and they trying to find something, y'all, they can't say you.
That's not nitpicking, though. That's real. That's not nitpicking. I don't want you messing up my stuff. I don't want you messing up something that I paid my money for. That's not nitpicking. That's like real talk. That's real. You're not going to buy me another skillet. You're just somebody, I'm nice enough to let you stay in my house. When someone is nice enough to let you stay in their house, you should be doing everything possible not to inconvenience the person. Now, if you used to buying your skillets from the dollar store or the Goodwill or whatever, like you've never had nice skillets, all the skillets that you have, you scratch up because you don't even know what non-stick means. Everybody ain't lived that life. Some people understand that you're not supposed to use metal utensils in non-stick skillets and pots and stuff. Some people realize that. I don't know why I got so much saliva today. Like, ooh, I'm all juicy mouthed.
You dirty. Okay, they can't say you don't clean up behind yourself or contribute in everybody. They can't say none of that. But, and they come out the box with something like that. You scraping up the skillet. You know it's time to vacate, or somebody gonna get hurt. And it did get a little physical because I pushed him up out my way.
This is where I got a problem at. You didn't push this man in his own house. He letting you stay there. He told you not to destroy his property, and you pushed him. What?
When you mad, you don't feel pain. It didn't matter about no type of pain I may have had at that time. Because I was mad, baby. You better best get out my way. I'm a raging bull. And I'm big too, I'm strong. You best move. Okay,
This the first time I have ever heard Adrianne say that she was big. Because she normally refers to herself because, she wants us to believe that her shape is, sexy and feminine. So this is the first time I ever heard her say, I'm big. I'm a raging bull. I get you.
that's best for you. Move. And he had to find out, y'all. So I had to tell that man, I'll tear it up. Inside and out, I'll tear it up. Don't do me. Just because I'm in here in your house, I'm not your kid now. You want to come out the box, try to come out the box, have a valid reason. But don't just make something up like, I'm scraping up your skillet. You can have some real problems.
Scraping your skillet is a valid reason. That's a valid reason. That's just like you're not cleaning up behind yourself. You're destroying my property. You scrape up my skillet with a fork. I can't use the skillet no more because now the food will start to stick. And you've messed up the coating. And some people don't want to use skillets after that, top coat has been scraped or whatever, because they start to think you're getting into that undercoating, Teflon or whatever, because, we ain't even gonna go into that. But girl, you out here damaging this man's property. This man don't want his what if he's one of those type of people that like to cook on a regular basis, and you like for your kitchenware to be nice. Some people sit here and polish their pots and pans. Some people have their pots and pans on display in their kitchen on that rack and stuff. And you don't want them on display if they all scratched up and dented up and messed up and stuff. You out here messing up this man's
I'll tell you
stuff.
this. That man went in there in his room and he sat down, okay, on the edge of his bed, because he talk a lot. He talk a whole lot. And that man was quiet because he saw that demon come out. It was.
This where we at right now. This the part I wanted y'all to hear, where she said herself that she has a demon in her.
I didn't know who she was either. She just popped out, and it was like black. You just see black, just see nothing but whoever you trying to get, they best gone. Get on up out the way. She came out, y'all. She came out quick. Okay, that's when I knew it's time to go. Get your stuff, and I did. Vacated and elevated. Sure did.
So Adrianne doesn't understand that what you put out into the universe is what you attract to yourself. If you are saying that you literally have a demon inside you, you literally have a demon inside you. You are attracting that to you. Now, you didn't put it out in the universe that, hey, I already have one living in me. I don't care how many others come. And the demons are attracted to other demons. If it's one happy demon living in there and coexisting with you, there will be others. There is no way in the world, honey, we speak truth to power. We speak it. And she just said there was a demon that came up out of me when she gets angry. Adrianne needs some help. Like, I'm not saying she needs to be arrested, but she needs some help. She needs some spiritual and psychological assistance. She's got a real problem. Like, we are literally watching someone that has a mental illness. And it could be a demon. For all we know, something could have attached itself to her. I've always seen a lot of darkness in Adrianne's eyes, but I always thought that it was her life. It was her, the things that she had been through in life that made her appear so dark. But looks like it may be something else. Because if I knew something was going on like that with me, if I knew that when things happen, I black out and see dark, and, those are not the type of metaphors that I want to use for myself. I have a demon. There's a demon inside of me. Like, that's the last metaphor that I would use. Because you are what you speak into your life. You will always be in a constant state of turmoil. Adrianne is always getting into it with somebody. There's something negative always going on in her life. Always. And there has to be something behind all of that. Because it's not normal. That's not normal. It's not. It's not normal to always be in a state of conflict and chaos and darkness and instability. Like, this woman is almost 50 years old. I think she said she'll be 50 next month, and she is going from pillar to post. And even in her pillar to post, she still can't muster up the right energy, have a grateful spirit. She's still out here being boastful and aggressive. And girl, you don't have the right to be doing all of that in somebody else's house. You in somebody else's house, like, that's not your place. If I had been that man, I'd have beat the brakes off of her in the house right there. I would have wore her out in my house. You're in my house. You are a guest in my house. I would have beat her ass. You hit me in my house, I have the right to Hulk slam you. Okay? You hit me in my where I lay my head, I wouldn't have walked away and thought about it. I would have beat the brakes off of her. I would have whooped her, and she would have hit every wall in that house. And then I would have called the police to come get her and press charges. You put your hand on me because I told you you were scratching up my skillet, and then get online and brag about it? No. Mm-mm. Honey, Adrianne they would have been putting up a GoFundMe for her. You hit me. It would have been a GoFundMe. You're not going to come in my house after I done been nice to you. I don't know how long Adrianne has been staying with this particular person, but you're not going to come in my house and I treat you nice, give you, put a roof over your head. Like, it's always raining and thundering and lightning and carrying on in Florida. Adrianne be making it seem like, oh, it's always hot. It's always sunny. No, I watch other people that live in Florida too. It do a lot of raining and thunder. It clear up quick. And it is hot and humid. And that's why it does do a lot of, rain showers, thunder showers, lightning, all of that kind of stuff. Because it is so hot and it's, so close to the water. So storms will build up, but they just pass through real fast. So, you don't want to be on the street completely. So she get with these people who are nice enough to let her stay in their house. And she pushed this man because she in his house messing up his pots and you in somebody else's house messing up their pots and pans, and they tell you, hey, and the man probably was nice about it, but Adrianne just don't like for nobody to tell her what to do, even though she knows she in the wrong. You completely in the wrong. You in the wrong. Ain't no right in this. Ain't no right in this situation. You are completely in the wrong. You in the wrong for scratching up this man's pots. Oh Lord, this woman did another video about All In with Ari. I'm gonna have to get back on her ass today. You completely in the wrong for scratching up this man's pots, and then you put your hands on him. You and your demon, you and your demon, put your hands on the man. Now, if I had been the man, shit, I'd have let my demon out too. I'd have let mine out too. So I think too in that video she said that the man was mad with her because his gun came up missing and he thought Adrianne stole it. But honey, I'd have let mine out too. You not about to be the only one in the house, in my house, with the demon? Girl, I wish you would. I wish you would. Adrianne is eventually going to meet her match. She is eventually going to buck up on the wrong person. I think a lot of people who encounter Adrianne knows that something wrong with her and they give her a pass. But eventually, Adrianne is going to buck up on the wrong person and they going to lay her out. They are definitely going to lay her out. Because people don't play about their houses. You're not going to come over to my house and, tear up my shit, disrupt my peace. Now she's staying at somebody else's house, walking around this person's house. Ooh, look at these curtains. Ooh, look at this bedroom. Ooh, look here. Ooh, look there. So now some other sucker done let you stay with them, and you walking around their house, filming their house and stuff, and girl, I can't do it. I can't even understand it, child. Hey, Phoenix, I can't even understand it, honey. I do not get it. But Adrianne and her demon, somebody go around there. Come on, y'all. We're going to have to do a seance tonight. We're going to have to do a seance so we can figure out who is the demon that, I bet you it's Jezebel. That's who it is. She got that Jezebel spirit. I bet you that's who her demon is. Jezebel. Don't Jezebel like to fight? I know she like to have sex. Do she like to fight? Let me see what is Jezebel's, I done woke my husband up. Watch him come in here and say, "You so loud. You so loud. Watch. I done woke him up. I hear him. Let me see if Jezebel likes to fight. Ooh. This hurt y'all. Oh, listen. This spirit hates authority, despises correction, hates being subjected, and loves attention. Y'all know that's her. Y'all know that's her. Ooh, Adrianne out here with the Jezebel spirit. We're going to have to do a seance tonight and get that spirit off of her. Where's Tasty Talks when I need her? Because Tasty Talks is the Tasty Talks is the YouTube prophet. Where's Tasty when I need her? Oh, Adrianne out here with the Jezebel spirit, child. And she saw the spirit too. She said she saw it. She said she saw it come out of her. We're going to have a seance tonight. Okay? We're going to have to pray that Jezebel spirit out of her. We're going to have to help her. That's what we put on this earth for. We spiritual people. We have to come together and pray this Jezebel spirit out of Adrianne. Because this Jezebel spirit is tearing up her life. Where's Tasty Talks when I need her? Come on, Tasty. Tasty can come through with the scriptures. Tasty do the scriptures. I do the prayer. And then I'm going to need somebody to come hold the water. I need somebody to light the candles. I need somebody to pray over the holy water. We're going to need like a gallon. So I need somebody to prepare the holy water. We're going to need a lot. We may have to baptize her in this holy water. I need y'all to sign up. Put your name. I put the list, and then you tell me what you're going to bring to the seance. Because we're going to get this Jezebel spirit off of her. I can't see Adrianne walking around with the spirit of Jezebel clung to her in them polyester rainbow dresses she be wearing. That I just can't. I can't see her turning 50 with the Jezebel spirit clung to her back. Oh, Lord Jesus, please help her get the Jezebel spirit off of her. That's what it is. And she saw it today. She saw it, y'all. She said she saw it. She said she saw the spirit come out of her like a demon. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord, we got to help her. Unsubmissive women who had people do her bidding. She had to like to fight if she was dealing with men. Jezebel was uncontrollable. Was she having problems? Adrianne out here fighting men this morning? Jezebel got such a strong hold on her that she fighting men. See, I knew when Adrianne was walking around with that knife clipped to her dress that something was going on. Honey, Jezebel had her out here wearing a knife, a whole pocket knife. Well, bigger than a pocket knife, because my husband carries a pocket knife. It was bigger than a pocket knife, clipped to her dress, walking around like that. That was the Jezebel spirit telling her, girl, we got to protect ourselves. There's people out here trying to hurt us. Here, wear this knife. And if somebody come up on you, I'm going to jump out. And we both going to fight. Like Jezebel told her today. Push that man. I'm here with you. I'm going to back you up. And then when Adrianne go to jail, Jezebel going to jump out of her and jump into somebody else. Because Jezebel ain't about to be locked up in jail with Adrianne. She not going to spend her days locked up when she can just hop into another body. Lord have mercy, Jesus. The Jezebel spirit then got Adrianne. Adrianne then succumbed to the Jezebel spirit. The spirit has got her in her clutches. But Adrianne can't get along with nobody though. When you can't get along with your own family members, when she was fighting with her own sister and talking about the issues she's had with her mom, she has a whole lot of childhood trauma. A lot. A lot. Because if you were turning tricks at 15, you have some very serious childhood trauma. Because I don't care how you know, how grown you think you are at 15, you're still a child. You're a teenager, but you're still a child. You're not making adult decisions at 15. Your mind has not matured to the point where you can make adult decisions at 15. You're just not. So turning tricks at 15, makes me understand why she's doing some of the things that she's doing now, because she hasn't healed from the things that went on when she was a child. That's a lot to unpack right there. I mean, I make this stuff sound funny for entertainment purposes, but it's something really going on with this woman. Like, she not normal. She not normal, and she's telling us that she's normal. That she's not normal. She's telling us. And it makes for good YouTube because it gives people something to talk about, but then, your logical mind will click in and be like, okay, now you know that this is a real person. This is not like Game of Thrones or like this a real legit person that's going through some real stuff. And Adrianne has said that, she hasn't been to church. She's not spiritually grounded. She even said, which was really funny to me, that I don't know if she said she went to church Sunday or something, but she kept saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm surprised the church didn't burn down." And I'm like, who says that? Like you really think that you're such a bad person that if you enter the church will burn down? Like, you got to be out here thinking that you have some demonic tendencies, because only people who really feel like they legit have a demon in them, have a fear of something happening to them when they enter a church. Like, I ain't been to church in years, but I know if I set foot in the church, ain't nothing gonna happen. Because I'm just a regular person that just haven't been to church in a long time. Like, I'm not expecting one of those Damien type situations to happen on my way to church. I get in front of the church and, the demons start revving up in me and no, that's not going to happen. So for her to be like, I'm surprised the church didn't burn down. Ha ha ha. No, girl, you serious. You serious. Because there's something going on in you. But how do you have a sense of entitlement when you don't have anything? That's not a sense of entitlement. That's mental illness. You can't have a sense of entitlement if you don't have anything. You've never really had anything. If you don't have nothing, you're not entitled to nothing. Like, nothing is ever hers. Every situation, she's like, the only thing she has, legit, only thing she has is that car. If she didn't have that, she would really be in a bad situation. If she didn't have that car, she would probably go back home to Milwaukee. That car is the only thing keeping her in Florida. because she can, she can still get around. That's the only thing she has. She doesn't have anything else. Nothing. She got a few little dresses that, she's purchased from Rainbow or Didi's or whatever because she was so excited. I think that she went to Rainbow and got a new dress, and the dress was like $5, and she was so happy. I was like, wow. I just don't want to be in a situation like that. Adrian does not realize that she's not getting younger. She's getting older. And when you in your 50s and 60s, your body and joints and stuff, she's already having problems with her knees. Like, you don't want to be crammed up in a car, sitting up in a car all day, going from pillar to post, not, knowing where you going to lay your head in your 50s. You don't want to do that. That's the worst thing I could think of. When I'm tired, if I get off this live and decide I want to lay down, I can just close this computer and hop in my bed. That's how I like my life to be. I don't want to have to think about where I'm going to lay my head tonight. I know where I'm going to lay my head tonight. If I have to use the bathroom, I know where it's at. Phoenix said, I joke about catching on fire going back into churches, but it's really a commentary on the cultish ways of the Pentecostal apostolic non-denominational churches I went to. Yeah, I mean, it was just the way she said it though. Like, she legit said that shit like she meant it. There ain't nothing gonna happen to you. No one catches on fire because they haven't been to church or because they've done, wrong or whatever. Don't you see that everybody in prison either finds Jesus or finds Allah in prison? And they've done all kind of crimes. Jesus stayed in the prison system. I mean, that must be like his second home. And Allah be there too. Because they always find Jesus or Allah while they're in prison. When they was on the street doing their dirt, they was ducking Jesus. Ducking him. But as soon as they go to prison, they find him. Or they find Allah. So, you don't have to worry about that. If it's your time to be caught and tangled up in religion, it's gonna get you. I done been there. I done been caught. I done been tangled up a few times. I'm just free right now. But there have been times when, I have literally been bound by religion. Girl, I'm not going to say that I've done dirt, but compared to the Bible's dirt, some of the stuff that they consider dirt in the Bible, fornicating, I done did all that. All of the fornicating, I did all those. And went back to church and ain't nothing happened. Jesus was like, go on, girl, sit down. I know. Shit. He don't care. He don't care about none of that stuff that the Bible says is wrong. Because if he cared, he wouldn't have shed his blood. you know, Christians make the death of Christ in vain. So be out here living your life because Christ didn't already shed his blood. He didn't already died. So you may as well live. He died so we could live. Now, I'm not saying go out here and kill somebody, but if you got to fornicate, go get it. Okay? I ain't gonna never tell you not to get it. All of that. All of that. They were all a bunch of thieves and robbers, and they was out here living their life. And Jesus was like, come on. Stop doing all that shit. And they got their life together. But he knew that we wasn't going to be able to. God, did you have to put it like that though? It was the Holy Ghost by God's design. But did you have to say it like that? God impregnated a minor. Back then, all of the younger women were having babies though. That was normal for women after they, had their first cycle. You can have a baby. You an adult. You grown. After that cycle, you grown. You a woman now. So, yeah. So he's not looking. He don't care what I'm doing. He could care less. He gonna deal with me when I get to heaven. So I'm just gonna live my life. And then when I get there, I'll plead my case. I'll be like, well, you said that your blood covered us. That I was living under grace. Grace. We living under grace. Okay? So we just be out here. Technically, the only thing we have to do is love each other. I love everybody. That's it. I'm covered. I love everybody. But on the real, I can't even think of anybody that I strongly, there's nobody that I can legit put my finger on right now that I hate. And it's not too many people that I really strongly dislike. Like, I don't put that much energy into people to just strongly dislike you. Even people that think that I don't like them, it's not that I can talk cash money shit about you and still like you. Like, I still like Connection Rejection. I still watch her after she done called me a bitch and everything. I still like her. I don't hate her. I don't hate nobody. Because I know people have flaws and, people have been through stuff. And sometimes people project and they will project on you. I know, girl. I'm a lot. I am gorgeous. I'm beautiful. I'm 58 years old. I'm out here living my life. I'm beautiful. I know. People gonna hate me. And I'm a child of Oshun. They gonna hate me. I know that. And I accept it. So I don't hate nobody. I'm not about to be wasting my time out here hating people. Girl. I don't have time for that. I also don't think she consented. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, just putting today's stank on it. Okay. In the context of consent, I think she was there was no actual sexual act. This was an immaculate conception. So there was no sex. There was no consenting. The angel came to her and told her what was going to happen. The angel didn't, like, it's not like she got R worded, some words you can't say on YouTube. I'm trying to keep this. I'm trying to keep this, you know, monetized. So it's not like that happened. There was no actual act, you know. It was immaculate. Like it happened by the Holy Spirit. So there was no physical contact with her. And the situation was explained to her. And she obviously, you know, was I probably shocked, but a willing participant, maybe. Who knows? Do I think she could have said no? I don't know. I would have to read the scripture again and see if the Holy Spirit came to her first and told her, or it had already happened. I can't, I haven't read the scripture in so long. I don't know if he came to her after it had already happened, or he came to her and told her, this is what's going to happen. But I think she had been chosen. You know, if we were living in a different time, if we were, hey RJ, if we were living in a totally different time than we are living now, totally different, no social media, no nothing back then, everything was totally different, and an angel came to you and told you that this was going to happen, you were going to be the mother of the Savior, would you have turned it down? Would you have said, no, I don't want to do that? Because she didn't understand that, you know, she didn't see God's plan. She didn't understand what that was going to entail. You know, she didn't know anything about the situation. She only knew she was having a baby. Yeah, I think it was a little bit more than that. I think it was a little bit more than, and I don't think she was a little girl because she was already married. So she wasn't a little girl. 14 back then was totally different from 14 now. I mean, look at Game of Thrones. They about to marry off this 12-year-old baby to the king. And she looked all of 9. They should have got somebody else that looked, at least looked a little bit older to play that part, because that baby didn't look 12 at all. That was normal. And she even said in the whole Game of Thrones thing, my mother said that I wouldn't have to bed you until I was 14. 14 was grown. Because by 14, they know more than likely you have already had your first cycle. By 14, you didn't have that cycle. So by 14, you a grown woman. You are a woman as soon as you have your first cycle. You a woman. Technically, your body has declared you to be a woman. You're not a little girl. So you're looking at Mary as a child. Mary was a grown woman back then. And during biblical times, she was a grown woman. She had a husband. She wasn't a little girl playing with Barbie dolls or corn husk dolls or whatever. This was a adult. These was totally different times than the times we in now. You look mad at the world. What y'all do?
Huh?
What y'all do?
I ain't doing that.
That creeped me out too, and they were incestuous, so there's a lot I choose not to think about. Heck, people life expecting, right? They didn't live that long back then, because back then they didn't have antibiotics and medicines. So like the slightest thing could have killed them in their 20s. A lot of people back then died like in their 20s and 30s. They wasn't living like we living now. You see, they done put the king hand in a bunch of maggots trying to clear out some infection because they ain't had no medicine. So you can't compare a 14-year-old now to a biblical 14 because it's totally different. It's a totally different situation. Yeah, I mean, but that's how the people in England, they did the same thing. They married their cousins and all of that kind of stuff to keep the bloodlines pure. That was actually a normal thing. Go with him. That was a normal thing. We just don't do that now. But all of that stuff really went on back in the day. Yeah, I mean, but saying she was a little girl, she wasn't a little girl. She was a grown woman. I mean, she may not have. I'm pretty sure she didn't know it was gonna happen. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a regular. I'm going to lay with my husband, and then we're gonna have Jesus. It was, of course, wasn't like that. But she was grown. Yeah, that was a real thing. The Europeans, they did that stuff a lot. To there is a documentary on YouTube where this family did the inbreeding or whatever. Has anybody seen that? And almost everybody in the family has some type of uh has some type of issues. Here they are, right here. Where is it? That's one of them right there. But it's a whole family of them. One of them can't talk. He be making these like squeaking noises. The name of the channel is Soft White Underbelly. Look at that on YouTube and look at their story. I think they're in Tennessee or somewhere, but this one guy goes and like checks on them. He helped them, I guess, get Social Security or whatever. Like they were living in these dilapidated trailers, but they're all related in the wrong way. And it just shows what will happen when like a sister and a brother, or you know, I don't know, child. It's crazy. It's interesting though, but it's crazy. Yeah, they do. They have physical disabilities. They have one of them has like deformities in his face. It's a lot. And it's because they're inbred. It's a whole family of them. And they all live together and, take care of each other. None of them really seem like they went to school maybe past the third grade. It's a lot going on. Yeah, but this family is really interesting though. It's interesting to see what will happen when we mix DNA that ain't supposed to be mixed. The United States elites are the offspring of pilgrims who came to America in order to gain power, not running from religious persecution like they try to brainwash us. Yeah, at this point, I don't even care. I like, because people in power are going to do what they want to do, and they basically have the power to do that. So it don't even matter to me one way or the other. I'm really starting to kind of feel for Adrianne. Like I try to laugh things off to keep them humorous, but this woman got a lot of stuff going on. A lot. And if she doesn't change her mindset, if she doesn't change the way she is thinking and the way she is moving, she is going to be a lonely ass old woman. Because after a while, it's going to get harder and harder for Adrianne to be out here turning tricks. Because it's too much young pussy out here for men to be paying for a old cat when they can get a young cat. That's just real talk. So, how much longer is she gonna be out here selling cat? That cat. And if she been selling cat since she was 15, like she said, and she about to be 50 next month, in a few days, it's time for that cat to retire. You ain't gonna retire that cat? It's time for that cat to collect Social Security. You're not gonna let her retire? Ain't she tired? Men, why pay for a retired cat when you can get a cat that's on the showroom floor? Thank you, Lucky. Oh, child, we know other people was Christopher Columbus ain't discovered nothing. But why would men pay for? Now some men do like to drive classic cars. Some men like, classic stuff. They do. But when you got some men that like to drive muscle cars, the Mustangs and what's another muscle car? I don't know, y'all. Whatever the muscle cars are, they like to drive those. They like to hear them. Chargers and all them kind of cars and stuff. But there are men that like Corvettes, Teslas, Lamborghini. Adrian is not a Lamborghini. Adrian is not a Lamborghini. Okay? She not. You not a Corvette. Not one of the newer model Corvettes. Not the Corvettes that's out here um winning shows. It's my husband's friend just took his Corvette to a Corvette show and he won like third place. Adrian ain't no third place Corvette. Okay? Not F50. I wouldn't be trying to sell nothing F50. So eventually, this time is going to run out for her. It's gonna run out. So what is she going to do when that time runs out? You got to have a backup plan. You have to. Or you just go from couch to couch for the rest of your life. How many came over already Masons? Didn't the whole Mason thing is different when they came over here? Freemason. There's so many different Masons. It's not just one particular set of Masons. They're different Masons depending on what area you're from. Because the Masons down south were different than the Masons here in California. Because my dad was a Mason and my mama was an Eastern Star. And even he said that they were different. Of course, there were certain things that, like you could go certain places and you would know, okay, that's your brother. But when you get here, when they moved from, okay, so my parents moved from Louisiana to Florida and from Florida to California. So my dad was like, when we got here to California, the Masons were different. You could tell the person was a Mason. They have on a ring. They have something on their lapel. Back in the day, when men did not leave their house unless they were suited. When they went to downtown, the men had on suits and hats and My dad was one of those people. So either you had on a lapel pin, you had a cuff link, you had a tie clip, you had something on you that let people know who you were. So if you at a restaurant, you're somewhere, you know, oh, I see you, is how it was. It was subtle. It was subtle. It wasn't a standout type thing. Some Masons wore rings, some had cufflinks. It was something to identify you as a Mason. So, this whole term Mason is so much broader than what a lot of people even truly understand. There's no one, Mason doesn't fall under one umbrella like how some people think. Just like African spirituality doesn't fall under one umbrella. There's so many different areas of African spirituality depending on what region you're coming from, what country you're coming from, what area you're coming from. Even in like Louisiana, there's so many people practicing traditional African religions differently. They're practicing so many different things in Louisiana, in different parts of Louisiana, in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, in Monroe, in, different places of Louisiana, people are doing things differently. Some people are practicing hoodoo. Some people are practicing voodoo. Some people are practicing Santeria. You just never know. And then some people are practicing a combination of all of those things. Yeah. I know my dad had uh the ring with the star on it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think my mom said she buried him with that. Because he never got out of the Masons, but he ended up getting sick and um he couldn't continue to fulfill his obligation. Now my mother got out of the Eastern Stars. I don't know what her process was, but after my father passed away, she no longer wanted to participate. She was just, so hurt. And that was something that they did together. And when he passed away, she was so hurt that, he was gone, that she didn't want to do it by herself, even though they have an area, in the Eastern Star for women who have lost their husbands. But my mama didn't want to be a part of that because that was too painful for her. So she got out. She she never talked about what that process was like, or she just told me that some things were secret, and I understood that. But it was always told to me as a child that if I wanted, if that was something that I wanted to do, it was open to me because of my parents. But I was never interested until I went to the funeral of an Eastern Star, and it was so elaborate, and it just seemed like the people had so much respect for her. And here I am. Here go my, even as a child, I was like, God damn, I had this ego all my life. I want people to respect me like that. But I never did it. I never I never got into it. Hey, beautiful Bree. Yeah, I haven't after my dad passed away, if my mom talked about it, I would talk, but a lot of things I just didn't really bring up to her because I know it was like really painful for her, because I know that she really enjoyed the times that they had together when they went to events and stuff, because when she talked about that kind of stuff, she always lit up. And I know that that was a part of her life that she was really proud of. And I think it was something that my dad was like really proud of. It was like, belonging to a fraternity or something. Like they legit, my parents were legit a Mason and an Eastern Star. But she didn't really, you know, she didn't really talk about it a whole lot. And I don't think they were as active here in California as they were in Louisiana. I think they were a lot more active there because they had a lot more friends and stuff in Louisiana, because that's where they both grew up at. When they moved out here to California, they only had a few friends. They didn't have a lot of friends until some of my other family decided to move out here. So then they started to, broaden out a little bit. It can be a vehicle for political movement, which is why the talk about pilgrims sparked my comment. Yeah. I mean, the whole Mason thing has, it's interesting to me, but it's never been. And then for a hot minute, I dated a guy that was a Mason. But he made it kind of seem like, how on the Flintstones, uh, Fred and Barney used to go to the Water Buffalo Lodge. That's kind of like how he made it seem. Was he a Mason or a Shriner? I think he was a Shriner, because he always talked more about community activism and, like events that they were having to, like, I think he was a Shriner. I don't think he was a Mason. I don't know, child. That was umpteen years ago. So y'all think about, what you want to do for this seance. Think about what you gonna bring. Who gonna bring the candles? Who gonna bring the holy water? And think of a day when we gonna have it. We're gonna have it at night. And think about, who gonna. I need to get Tasty Talks in on this. Tasty got to go in with me, cause I need Tasty. I need Tasty to read the scriptures. I need her to, and then I jump in and do the prayers. I need somebody to get the holy water together. Shriners are top lead. Yeah, I did know the difference between the Shriners and Masons. I know he said he had been in it for a long time. He had been in, I think he said his dad had brought him in. He had been in for a while. So maybe he was a Shriner. I don't know. I'm not, like, I'm legit not into that at all. Nobody in my circle, in my immediate circle, is a Mason. Nobody at this point in my life. Nobody I know is one, or you know is interested. Like, my husband's never been interested in. I'm gonna ask my father-in-law, has he ever um, been interested in becoming a Mason, or why you ain't no Mason? I'm gonna ask him. So they Masons too. I thought Shriners and Masons was different. Like a whole different organization. See, girl, I don't know nothing about that. Not a thing. Do I, like, really know? Because my father passed away when I was young, when I was 5 years old. I don't remember any of it. Like, I don't remember, I don't remember my mom. I don't remember ever seeing her in, dressed up in her Eastern Star attire. She says that I have. She says that I've seen both of them dressed up, but I don't remember. I was too young to even remember that. So, after my mother, told me that she got out and, like, never really talked about it that much, then it just, kind of became a thing of the past. But if somebody says something about it, then I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, my mom was. And you don't hear of, not hear, well, maybe because I'm out of the whole, like, church arena. I don't hear of a lot of women now who are even Eastern Stars. I don't hear about that. I don't know nobody that is one. Because I'm like, are they still in the thing? Are they still out here? What time is it, y'all? Oh, let me feed this dog. Put his food together. That's it, y'all. I might come back later because I gotta watch this video that this woman did made about All In with Ari. I gotta watch her video, and then I'm probably gonna do a video because I'm gonna keep following this All In with Ari story because she the cash cow right now. You gotta follow the stories that's trending, and so I'm going to um I'm gonna follow this story. Cause actually I wanna see how this ends. She she people are looking at her like, okay, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna are people still gonna be sending her money? Are people gonna stop sending her money? Is her channel gonna die? And at this point, I'm interested too. Shit, if I can make $1 or $2 off of the story, I'm gonna make it too. Shit. What Phoenix say? I'm not active, but I can find a lodge easily. What? You a Eastern Star? You an Eastern Star, Phoenix? Yeah, it is a big commitment because you have to be active. If if you in, you in. You got to be going to meetings and all of that kind of stuff. And I know I'm not that type of person. I'm like, I think that's why I never joined a sorority in college. Now I'm beating myself up for that. But I think in college I realized that I'm such a introvert that it's hard for me to be connected to a group of people forever. Like they gonna get on my nerves, and then I ain't gonna want to do it. Like I don't know. It was just too much for me. Hey, Melissa. Oh, girl. People tell me I can't. I know. I thought you were just a sorority. I thought you were that. I didn't know you were Eastern Star. Which one is it, girl? You a Eastern Star or sorority? Yeah, they be having all kind of stuff. I'm not doing all that shit. They gonna call me and I'm gonna be like, I ain't trying to do all that. I don't want to do it. It's too much. I can't. I can't be going to all these meetings and. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought you were just one. I didn't know you were both. Yeah, I can't do all that. I probably could, but I don't want to. I don't want to do. I mean, I love the way they look. I just want to wear. I just want to wear the t-shirts and stuff. I just want to wear the colors. I don't want to have to do the work. Just like back in the day, I wanted to belong to a motorcycle club. Mind you, I didn't have a bike. I didn't have a bike, but what was that movie? What was that movie with Lawrence Fishburne and the boy from Antoine Fisher? What was the name of that movie? And they was riding motorcycles, and his dad got killed in the movie. His dad got his dad got killed, and then with the person he thought was his dad, something like that. But anyway, when I saw that movie, I was like, oh, yes, I got to join a motorcycle club. I want to be, I want to wear the colors and represent. Like, I wanted to join the East Bay Dragons because that's the biggest black motorcycle club it is. It's one of the most well known motorcycle clubs in East Oakland. It's the Dragons. Like they throw all these crazy parties and everything. So I wanted to. And my friend was like, girl, you can't even ride a motorcycle. I was like, well, they can't make me an honorary member. They can make me an honorary member. At the time, I was a minister. I was like, I can be the chaplain. Don't the motorcycle clubs need a chaplain? They can give me the vest, and my little thing on the back can be chaplain. I don't have to ride the motorcycle. The chaplain's got to stay safe. She was like, no, you're not going to. I wanted to so bad. I just want to be involved in something so I can wear like the little outfit, the t-shirt, the jacket, or something, but I don't want to have to go to the meetings. I don't want to ride no motorcycle. I don't want to do all that shit. I ain't trying to hurt myself. I cannot think of the name of that movie. I know y'all know the movie. I hate when I can't think of, but I ain't seen the movie in so long. Phoenix said we don't share secrets. Oh, like the different organizations? Yeah, my mama wouldn't even, she wouldn't even tell me, like, what it was like, or how did she get into the, she wouldn't tell me. She took them secrets with her, the glory. And I was her child, and she wouldn't tell me. So, whatever oath you take, it must be serious. If she see, and I'm not good at holding. I'm not good at holding. No, I'm not. I take that back because I have held the secrets to my initiation. I haven't told. I've told some things, but I've left out the main part. So I can keep a secret. I can keep a secret. But I do like talking about stuff though. Like, don't put me in a position and be like, oh, you can't tell nobody, because that shit eats me alive. Because I like to talk, sometimes I do like to talk about my experiences. Like, it wouldn't be something that I would talk about like on YouTube for a whole bunch of people that I don't even know, for like strangers to hear. But like if my granddaughter or one of my grandkids asks me, what is it like to woo woo woo, then I would want to tell them. I don't want to lie to them. Yeah, I there are a lot of things um in Lukumi I have kept a secret. A lot of stuff that, you know, I haven't talked about. For one thing, I wouldn't want like my god sister or, my old godmother to like run across these videos and call me and be like, didn't I tell you not to tell that? I'm respectful of certain things. There are certain things I will say and do, but there are other things that I would never put um, on social media at all. I wouldn't even talk about it because I know it's against the, because in a sense, belonging to these traditions is kind of like a sorority, because we have certain colors that we wear when we're out. Like, I run into people and I see that they have their Ide on, or they have their colors on, or something to represent their Orisha, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's a child of Shango, or oh, she's a child of Yemiya, or whatever, because we recognize each other our by the colors that we wear. So in a way, it's kind of similar. Yeah, I mean, you can talk about being scratched, but you can't say what the whole entire scratching process is. You can't speak of what you went through to get scratched. You can't tell everything. Like, you can say certain things, like, but it's certain things you got to keep to yourself. You can't say. Yeah, it is like a sorority or whatever, but it's just on a spiritual level. If people see me with my leques on, they know that I have, either been initiated or something. I know something, you know, because they know you by what you wear. And normally I have on a bracelet for Oshun, and people probably see that and be like, oh, yeah, and she's a child of Oshun. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been scratched, and I've never been to a ceremony of someone being scratched. So, I I don't have a clue as to. Yeah, I've never heard of anybody being beat up though, because this is a spiritual initiation. So I've never heard of anybody being beat up. I wouldn't want to be initiated, and that's gang mentality. I wouldn't want to be beat up. I'm not about to let nobody beat me up. That's the first thing in being initiated was trusting your godparent, knowing that they would never put you in a position where you're going to be harmed. Because certain parts you're blindfolded, and it is teaching you trust. Do you trust me? You have to, you are basically putting your spiritual life in someone else's hands. So you're learning trust in, part of the ceremony is teaching you trust. So yeah, I would, you hit me, I'm not going to trust you. Yeah, I've never heard of any hazing, and I would not want to even be involved in something like that. That's not my thing. I don't know I don't know. I wouldn't even get involved in something like that because I'm not trying to be hurt. I don't want you to hit me. I don't want you to even touch me in a inappropriate manner. So I definitely don't want you to hit me. Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard of that. I've never, you know, I've never heard of anybody being hurt or hazed or beat up. Everybody I know who's been through ceremonies have, talked about how beautiful the experience was, and you come out on the other side as a different person. Yeah, I don't know. I've never I've never heard of that. And I would never put myself in that type of position. That whole situation sounds wrong to me. And I would never allow anybody to put me in a position to be hurt. For nothing. And nobody I know that is in this religion has ever been in that type of position. No. Let me find this movie. Because once you put something and it's on the tip of your tongue and you can't think of it. Biker Boys. Biker Boys. Honey, this was my movie. This made me want to honey, I wanted one of them. Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne was in it. I wanted one of them biker vests. I was like, I'm gonna join up. My friend was like, "You're not, you're not going to join anything, sweetheart. No one's gonna take you." She was like, "Learn how to ride." I was like, "I ain't riding no motorcycle and fall and bust my butt. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I just want the vest." Yeah, I'm pretty sure different houses do different things, but that's not beating up somebody is not part of that's not part of it. There's no reason to haze anybody in the religion though. There's no reason for that. There's no reason to beat you or haze you in initiation. Like that makes no sense. Even in Palo, it's still a very spiritual experience. There's no hazing. Houses come together for initiation. People from different houses come together for initiation. The majority of houses, you may do some things different, but they not out here hazing. What type of interview? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. Yeah, I don't know. That's not normal. That's not even normal for Paulo. I've never heard of anybody getting hurt or getting jumped in. That's gang stuff. I don't know what that person was on, but this is a religion. You don't come into it with a gang mentality. If someone is talking about fighting you or jumping you in, they doing something different. Yeah, well, I don't even know what a renegade house is though. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I don't know what a renegade house is. That I'm confused. I've never, I've never heard of anybody being hurt or being in a position where they got jumped or beat up or whatever. What he got jumped and beat up for some Alekas? Or jumped and beat up for Paulo? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anything like that. Um, yeah, I've never heard of it being physical. Not in that sense. Now there are things that happen to you, I'm pretty sure, during the scratching process. But yeah, send it to me so I can see it. I'll have to see what he's talking about to understand because I've never heard of anybody being hurt. And I've been to numerous initiations and celebrations, and no one was ever hurt. Now, some things have happened when Orishas have come down. If something was going on in your life and Shango had to come in and show out or something, but even in that situation, it's, he's cutting away things that, are no longer needed in your life. He's not cutting you, he's not hurting you. He's trying to maybe get rid of some things in your life that shouldn't be there. Now, maybe the person was just scared, maybe an Orisha showed up, because there were times when I have been in situations where Orisha showed up and, spirits showed up. I was at a Misa one time and, things got a little uh, scary for me because, I was new to this situation and I hadn't been in a situation where people were mounted by Orishas before. I didn't know what to expect. It was a lot going on, but nobody got hurt. Like I didn't get, beat up. I was a little spooked, but it wasn't a situation where anything happened. It was just me not thoroughly knowing what to expect from a situation that I was put in that I felt like should have been explained to me a little bit more before it happened, but it wasn't, and I went through it, but I survived, if that made any sense. Oh, he may not have been hurt, but the way he described it was like hazing in fraternities. That's why a lot of stuff that happens, they tell you to keep your mouth shut because most people who are not there are not going to understand. They're not going to understand what you're saying. They're not going to understand what you've been through, and they're going to, fill in the gaps with their own imagination. So that's why that's another reason why they tell you to, just don't talk about your initiations to people, especially to people that don't have a clear understanding of what initiation is, have never been to one. They're confused about the whole situation. So it's just best to keep your mouth shut, period. When it comes to, you know, things that you have been through. Because the majority of people that you talk to have never been to an initiation, and the majority of them never will. A lot of people talk a good game. They're interested in Ifa or Santeria or whatever. But when it really comes to putting their money where their mouth is, they don't do it. I'm all in on being black until it costs money. Then, people kind of back off. So that's why one of the other reasons why they tell you to just keep what happened to yourself. Because most people are not going to understand it. Or, yeah, most people won't understand it. So that's it, y'all. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. And that is normally not me. I usually try to keep it um, around an hour. I have looked back on some of them lives and I was like, God damn, we used to stay on live for 3 hours? The hell was we talking about? I don't have it in me. After, like, once we get past that hour mark, I be like, God damn, I'm tired. I'm tired of talking. I gotta get out of here. I can't do it. I don't see how some of these people be on here 3 and 4 and 5 hours. I got to go. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. My water done got room temperature. And I don't like room temperature water. I like my water to be cold. Hey, Naya. We getting ready to go, girl. You're going to have to catch the replay. So, if I have to come back later on today, I'm probably going to do another video. I got to watch this lady's video. Now I got to keep this wig on until later. I got to watch this woman's video. Oh, I might take it off, though, and just put it back on later, child. Because this one of them throw on and go wigs, honey. Thank God for the headband wig. Just throw it on, throw your headband on, and you good. I ain't wearing all them lace fronts and gluing. No, I'm them. That's for y'all young women. That's all y'all. I'm at the headband stage. Throw the wig on. It's a half wig. Throw the headband on and go. So, if I want to take Sister Girl off and put her back in the bag until I get ready to film my next video, it's easy to throw her back on. Thank you, Naya. Yeah, I guess the panel. I guess when you doing panels, it's easier for you because you're not doing all the talking. I be trying to get y'all to come on the panel, but y'all be acting all shy. So if y'all want to do some panels, then you need to let me know what you want to talk about so we can get up here. You don't have to get on camera. You can just put your avatar up there. I don't care. So if y'all want to do a panel, you gotta let me know. We can do a panel. I ain't tripping. I didn't want to do the panels at night though. I think it's funner when yeah, you came up once or twice. So we can do a panel. Let's do the panels in the evening. That's when most people be on here talking shit, is at night. We could all be behind our avatars. I don't care. You know me. I could care less. Cause at night, when I be behind my avatar, it's because I'm normally laying down and I don't feel like getting up, I just be propped up on my pillow just talking. So it's cool. Oh, you asleep when I went live last night? Your avatar is your eyeball. Okay. My avatar is a picture of me. So if y'all want to do a panel, let me know. Shit, we can come on here tonight, talk crazy. I don't care. Just let me take a nap first. Oh, it's 2:00. Let me go feed this dog before he come up in this room and cuss me out. If y'all want to do a panel, just let me know. I can. I hate when airplanes fly over the house and it seems like they flying hecka low. That shit be spooking me. I be like, all right, motherfucker, don't you fall on this house. Okay, y'all, I'm finna go because I'm getting hungry and I'm getting thirsty. So I'll either see you guys later on this evening or I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. Bye.